friendship that'll never ever end.
Run!
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Reaction Beanie, yo, 787. Tight in that neighborhood, my brothers and sisters. Thank God it is Friday once again, Bean Team. And since it's Friday, y'all know that means that it is time for another reaction, suggestion, Friday. Another RSF Bean Team. And as y'all can see, I already have everything loaded. But before we pick a winner, Bean Team, as y'all can also see right here, it says loaded 18 comments. Now, I don't want to delete any of the comments that was left on last week's Reaction Suggestion Friday about the Junko Furuta case. Shout out to our girl Lively Galaxy for recommending that we watch that. But I don't want to delete any of those comments. But all 18 of those comments are not all members of the Bean Team All-Stars. So long story short, story long, we may be picking a winner for a long time before we actually select a member of the Bean Team All-Stars. So I'm just saying all this on the fly while I'm recording it. So I don't know in the future, am I going to edit it down or fast forward it or whatever, Bean Team. But I just wanted to let y'all know that. But I digress. Without further ado, let's pick a winner. In 5, 4, 3, 2. And the winner is Red Pill Freedom 6692. Red Pill says, recommend 9 creepiest roles you should avoid at all costs by Lazy Masquerade. Shout out to Red Pill, man. Hey, I think we just went to the Lazy Man earlier this week. Yeah, on Tuesday, Bean Team, I released a reaction to the Lazy Man. I'm always down to get into the Lazy Man, Red Pill. Shout out to you. Thank you for being a member of the Bean Team All-Stars. And we gonna check this video out. I will be right back. All right, Bean Team, I am back. And one more time for the one time. The title of the video is 9 creepiest roles you should avoid at all costs. I don't know what roles the Lazy Man talking about and why we should avoid them, but I'm gonna take his precautionary measures very seriously. All right, Bean Team, I am back. And one time for the one more time. All right, Bean Team, I am back. And one more time for the one time. The title of the video is 9 creepiest roles. All right, Bean Team, I am back. And one more time for the one time. The title of the video is 9 creepiest roles you should avoid at all costs. Now, I don't know why the Lazy Man saying we should avoid these roles, Bean Team, but I'm pretty sure the reasons why he's saying it, it's about to be crazy. And we're about to see. But before we see, my brothers and sisters, y'all know what y'all got to do. Get whatever you may need. Get what you need, please. We are back to the Lazy Man Masquerade. Y'all got what y'all need, y'all ready to go? Then let's go. The Lazy
Let's kick this video off with a friendly sounding stretch of road. The Highway of Tears in British Columbia, Canada. Sounds inviting, right? Well, if you're planning a road trip, I wouldn't recommend it. And that's not because there are any sharp turns or great heights to fall from. The highway gets its nickname for one simple, morbid reason. The number of slayings that have occurred there, not to mention all of the disappearances. Since 1970, right up to the present day, the highway has been a hotspot for maniacs. The exact number of people whose lives have been ended along the highway isn't known, but estimates range from 18 to 83. This isn't thought to be the work of one person either. Experts believe that most of the cases are isolated. So, what makes this particular highway such a playground for depravity? Well, first off, the road is extremely isolated. If you were to, say, pick up a hitchhiker there, it's unlikely there'd be any witnesses to see you give them a ride. And speaking of hitchhikers, there are a lot of them along this road. The area surrounding the highway is poor, with many of the locals unable to afford their own vehicle. Most of these locals are indigenous people. If they need to travel to see family, go to school, or get medical treatment, then catching a ride with a stranger is sometimes their only option.
I mean, I understand it may be your only option, but if you know other women have been getting kidnapped on this road, then that's just an option you don't need to take. Long story short, short story long.
That puts them at the mercy of whoever's passing along the highway. If the guy who decides to stop and give you a lift has something more sinister in mind for you, then there's probably not going to be anyone around to hear your screams, nor anywhere for you to run. Additionally, there are plenty of carnivorous scavengers that call the roadside home. If you were to dump a lifeless human carcass on the side of the road, they'd quickly be disposed of by the local creatures. When you take all of this into account, it's easy to see why some perps on the road feel a sense of impunity. There's nobody else around. Hiding evidence is easy. The perfect conditions for random, spontaneous slaughter. As such, some people, who might seem normal in real life, but harbor a secret darkness in their heart, might take the opportunity to indulge in that darkness. After all, on this road, who's gonna find out?
I don't know who gonna find out, y'all. But all I know is I feel like this is more than just one person who has done this. Like, I feel like it's multiple freaking kidnappers and murderers of these women on the road. And I also feel like it's one person who has committed multiple kidnappings and murders on this road. You know what I'm saying, man? Let's go.
And this next entry makes the list for one very simple reason. It's ranked as the most dangerous road in the world. What an honor. The North Yungas Road in Bolivia. The perfect place for people seeking adventure, scenic views, and quite possibly an early appointment with the Reaper. Every year, an average of 300 people lose their lives while passing along this narrow, 3-meter wide mountain track. The road itself runs on for 43 miles and connects Coroico and La Paz. With a peak height of more than 15,000 feet, many parts of the road are above cloud level, so saying that there are sometimes visibility issues is a bit of an understatement. That wouldn't be such a problem if there wasn't a sheer drop along one side of the road pretty much the entire way. Unfortunately, it's not uncommon to see either the vehicle in front of you or behind you go plunging over the side of the mountain, reminding you just how much is at risk while you make your way along the thin, muddy gravel trail.
Boy, these people traveling on this road must literally have no other option but to travel on this road, like to life or death or something. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go to work because I gotta feed my family. I gotta pay the bills so I can keep a house and over a roof over my head or something. Because this is crazy. From the very first image I seen being seen, and I seen how it was like a cliff, and there was no barriers or nothing to stop cars from potentially falling over. Man, then you add on to the clouds up there. Look how freaking foggy it is. Man, ain't no way. I'm telling you, Bean Team, there's no way, man. Unless this is like a life or death situation where I just have to. I have no other options but to have to travel this road. Let's go. Then you got to think about it. Some of these people doing this ish on the daily. Let's go.
And this usually happens while they attempt a risky overtaking maneuver. Road rage can also be a huge problem, with aggressive and impatient motorists pressuring you to go faster around the tight, narrow corners, of which there are more than 200. There have even been reports of vehicles ramming into other cars on the road, forcing them over the edge. Whether those incidents were accidents or intentional is anyone's guess. The most infamous incident on Yungas Road occurred when a bus veered over the edge of the mountain. In an instant, 100 people lost their lives. If this trail happens to be on your road trip bucket list, then I highly recommend leaving it until last, as there's a good chance it'll be the last journey you ever embark on.
Man, that is crazy. And maybe right then when I was talking about life or death and all that, maybe I was just sounding like a spoiled United States citizen, American. You know what I'm saying, man? Maybe I was sounding like a privileged person who don't have to live their life traveling these roads. I understand, Bean Team, that there are some people who are not privileged enough to travel on nice roads that we can travel on. And nice is being nice, because some of these roads out here effed up with these damn potholes and holes in the street, effing your rims up, effing your shocks up. That's a whole nother story. But you get what I'm saying, Bean Team. Maybe I'm thinking and putting myself in that situation, and no, I wouldn't have to do it, but maybe some of those people really have to do it, whether it's life or death or not. That's just the situation they in, and I just hate they in that situation. I guess that's all I can say. Long story short, short story long. Can the government, can somebody please just put down walls up along the fucking the edge of the cliff? At least do that much. Am I asking for too much with that?
If you're from the Philippines, then you're probably already familiar with this one. Forgive my pronunciation, sir. Balete Drive is a real place in Quezon City, infamous for one of its more spectral residents. The White Lady. If you pass along the road during daylight hours, you're unlikely to become acquainted with her. Pass through during the midnight hours though, and that all changes. According to an urban legend that dates back to the 1950s, a young woman in a white dress hailed a taxi one night all by herself and asked the driver to take her home. The driver agreed, but apparently had other plans in mind. He took her as far as Balete Drive, where he then stopped the vehicle and forced himself upon the woman in the back of the cab. She fought back and was battered by the driver. After he'd had his way with her, he dumped her under one of the balete trees along the drive, and then sped off into the night. Sadly, he had injured her too severely. Alone, afraid, and in agony, she passed away beneath the tree. In the Philippines, the balete tree is believed to have magical properties. Many believe that because her life ended beneath one of the baletes, the woman was able to return to this mortal coil, bitter and seeking revenge. Nowadays, if you pass through Balete Drive between midnight and 3 a.m., you just might spot a woman standing by the edge of the road, looking for a ride. There have been hundreds of alleged sightings, many from taxi drivers, though also from other motorists who describe the woman as a hitchhiker. Either way, all of the sightings have a few things in common. The woman is always dressed in white. When picked up, she'll enter the back of the vehicle and sit quietly. When the driver looks in their rearview mirror, they'll see that the woman's face is bruised and contorted, no longer recognizably human. She'll then blink out of existence. Other people have reported not seeing the woman at the side of the road at all, but even so, when they checked their rearview mirror, her twisted face was there, staring back at them. When they checked their back seats, there was no trace of her at all. Many drivers have crashed due to the shock of seeing the White Lady. Other drivers say their crashes were unexplainable, that they didn't see the woman at all, and that they suddenly just lost control of their vehicle on Balletti Drive, as if someone else suddenly turned the wheel and hit the accelerator. Now every motorist in the area knows not to look in their rearview mirror or pick up any women dressed in white while passing down Balletti Drive. The Lady in White became a very popular bit of folklore in the country, and thrill seekers and ghost hunters alike flocked to Balletti Drive to look for her. The road itself is now heavily patrolled at night, since the locals were constantly being woken up by the screams of people who spotted her. Well, allegedly spotted her, that is. This legend is probably just a cautionary tale after all. One about the dangers of picking up hitchhikers, or if looked at another way, the risk you assume when getting into an unlicensed cab at night. But there are so many accounts from otherwise grounded, skeptical people that it does make you wonder. So, what do you think? Could there be any truth to this urban legend? I guess the only way to know for sure is to drive down Balletti Drive yourself and see if you make a new friend dressed in white.
Y'all want to ride down Balletti Drive, Bean Team? Everybody want to do it? Raise your hand. No, seriously though. First of all, it's crazy that it has been over 100 people that says that they actually have seen her. You know what I'm saying? Over 100 reports. And I will say that I do believe in the paranormal because I have witnessed it my freaking self. But I don't know if this particular story is true. I don't know if I really believe this one, but like I said, it's also crazy that over 100 people have reported this ish. So that means that 100 people, over 100 people freaking lying about this ish. I don't know, Bean Team. Either way it goes, it's a great story to tell around the campfire. You know what I'm saying? Either way it goes. And I don't even know if the lazy man was this. I think this was based off a true story though of a girl who got murdered for hitchhiking or whatever. I do want to say rest in peace to her, but I don't know, Bean Team. That's one of those ones where I'm kind of like 50-50. I'll lean this way, then I go back that way. Let's keep going in the video. Good video so far, I might add. Shout out to Red Pill.
Not one specific road for this entry, but an entire road network. There's a whole host of poorly maintained, slippery and dangerous roads that run along the slopes of the Himalayan mountain range. I wouldn't recommend traveling across these routes if you suffer from vertigo, dislike sharp turns in thin roads, or just have a vague sense of self-preservation or desire to continue living.
Hey team, at first when this picture came up, it didn't even register in my brain what I'm looking at right now. Okay, I see now. I thought the one earlier, the second one that we watched from the Lazy Man, I thought that was like an anomaly. I thought it was a freaking anomaly. No, it's not a freaking anomaly. I see this how a lot of people have to live out here in the world, man, with these crazy ass roads. Ain't nowhere in the hell I'm traveling on no ish like that. My brain just caught up and was like, what the am I looking at?
Naturally, being up in the mountains, the weather on some of these passes can get quite intense to say the least. Take, for example, the Zojila Pass in India, located 3,500 meters up in the Himalayas. The area suffers from sudden, extreme snowfall, which can leave the road covered in snow 24 meters deep. More than likely though, you'll just get caught in the heavy rainfall as you navigate your way along the winding track ahead of you. Every year, people get stranded up in those mountain roads due to unexpected weather problems and need to be rescued. Those are, of course, the lucky ones. Since there are hardly any barriers on these routes, many others have gone hurtling over the edges, as was the case in 2012 when a bus full of tourists skidded off the side of Zojila Pass and into a deep gorge. Sadly, that was just one case. The Himalayan road network has claimed many lives over the decades. If you find yourself up in those mountains at some point, all I can say is, drive safely. You'll need to.
Drive safely is an understatement, Lazy Man. Seriously.
Just east of the Nevada border, running through the desert northwest from Wickenburg to Kingman, you'll find Highway 93, known to many as Blood Alley, a title the road has done everything in its power to earn. So, what makes this particular road so creepy, you might be asking yourself? Well, like many others, it's an exceptionally risky route. That's in part because of the road itself, how it winds through the hills and has a plethora of blind curves and essentially no shoulder room, but it's also because of its location. This highway runs through the hills, meaning there's an abundance of sections where cell phones can't get a signal and radios produce nothing but static. It's not only the landscape surrounding you that's barren. Usually the road itself is deserted too. It's not unusual to travel the full length of the road without seeing another car on your journey. If you happen to break down or crash somewhere in the middle of the highway, there's a good chance you'll be stuck there for a while. Pair with that the extreme temperatures of the desert, a limited supply of water, and no cell signal, and you have yourself a serious dilemma. You don't have to worry about forgetting how unsafe this road is. There are constant reminders along the way. The entire length of the highway is dotted with small, white crosses, marking where past travelers met their untimely end.
Damn.
Sometimes you'll see a cluster of several crosses. Those mark the spots where entire vehicles of people perished. There's one particular spot that's home to 6 of these crosses. A family of 6. With so many terrible accidents occurring on the highway over the years, it's no wonder many locals say the road's haunted. A whole host of sightings have been reported by travelers, but one infamous resident ghost is known as the Highwayman. If you find yourself traveling Highway 93 late at night, you might catch sight of a lantern glowing on the side of the road. As you get closer, you'll see who's holding it. A shadowy figure, standing around 6 feet tall, wearing a black duster, jeans, spurred boots, and a black cowboy hat that hides his face. He's usually seen alongside his old model Harley, presumably that he met his end on while traveling the road. Many people have claimed to see him. According to them, as you come to pass him, he'll take a step back and fade into the shadows. The light from his lantern will vanish with him. Depending on how you look at it, the Highwayman either acts as a distraction while traveling the road, or a grim reminder of just how treacherous the route really is.
That's one of those tales that you can tell around the campfire too, Bean Team. I don't know if the Highwayman real or not, but some of these roads, I just wonder, do people really know the history of these roads before they travel them? You know what I'm saying? If I find out that a lot of people been dying on this freaking road, I probably would try my best to not do it. But it goes back to what I've been saying from the beginning, man. Some of these people that don't have a choice, this they road to travel to work or school or whatever, you know what I'm saying, to go get food, what for freak ever, and they just have to travel these roads. But man, oh man, if you can avoid them, Bean Team. Long story short, short story long.
Anyone who speaks Portuguese knows what this road's name means. BR-116, or Rodovia de Morte as it's called by the locals, is the second longest highway in Brazil. It runs from Fortaleza all the way to Jaguaro. Every year, millions of people travel along this highway, and every year, thousands of them lose their lives. So, what makes this road so dangerous? Well, like other entries on this list, there are sections of the road that wind along cliff edges. The worst section for this comes as you approach Sao Paulo, where you have to drive exceptionally close to sheer drops, while, on unlucky days, being simultaneously bombarded by strong winds and rain. A recipe for disaster if ever there was one. In fact, accidents along this part of the road are so distressingly common that the locals aren't even surprised by them anymore. They've literally become a daily occurrence. Just as dangerous as the slopes, however, are the humans waiting for passing drivers. Police patrols along the road are very few and far between, and the pass is often littered with bandits, especially at nighttime. these guys don't have so much a live and let live mentality as a live, now give me your car, now die mentality. So, yeah, if you find yourself in Brazil, a road trip from Rio to Sao Paulo might not be such a great idea.
And now I'm kind of getting stuck on in my brain being team, just the fact of that these type of roads like this one we just seen, and I think we seen two of them before, with these roads that literally where you can just fall off a cliff. You know what I'm saying? There is no protection, no barriers. Like, come on, man. I'm getting to the point where even if these are like lower class countries or whatever, you know, they don't have a lot of money or whatever, man, that ain't making no excuse for not building no fucking walls on these goddamn roads with a fucking cliff where you can fucking fall off. I know I just let out 3 F-bombs, but I'm just saying, being team, like, man, especially when the government should be paying for this type of stuff, man. And I ain't saying you got to have the whole road with barriers all around it, but in the spots where people can fall off, especially just talking about that one particular road, man, can you put up something? I'm almost to the point where if I was living over there, I might try to make a damn wall myself. You know what I'm saying? For people, just start building a whole bunch of bricks and cement them in or whatever. This is crazy. I know y'all feel me. Let's go.
I've covered this road on the channel in the past, but I feel it warrants another quick mention in this video, given the subject matter. Zombie Road. Officially known as Al Foster Trail, it's easily the shortest road on this list, coming in at only 2 miles. What it lacks in length, however, it more than makes up for in infamy. Zombie Road is considered one of Missouri's most haunted places, and is arguably one of the most haunted roads in the world. The surrounding woodland is home to one of the country's largest Native American burial grounds, which pretty much goes hand in hand with paranormal happenings. It's a strange place for sure, but what's interesting about the road is that you're not actually allowed to go there after sundown. It's guarded and heavily patrolled by the police. If you get caught trespassing, you'll receive a hefty $1,000 fine. Still, that doesn't stop some people from sneaking onto the road and exploring it for themselves. Thing is, they have to do so on foot. The road's pretty much impassable by car nowadays, having fallen into disrepair. Those who have gone exploring the trail have reported seeing some exceptionally eerie things, and their accounts are all strikingly similar. They're consumed by an overwhelming sensation of dread, and feel like they're being followed while walking the trail. Those brave enough not to turn back have reported hearing footsteps following them, and strange figures standing at the edge of the woodland, watching them as they pass through. Many believe these to be the spirits of former railway workers who perished while working on the tracks that run through the woods. Some believe that those workers rise from their graves at night, hence the name of the road. The nearby river has also claimed many lives in its time, even in recent years. It's not uncommon for human remains to wash up on its banks. The woods are also filled with abandoned, dilapidated shacks. One in particular at the end of the trail is said to be the home of the Screaming Woman, the ghost of an elderly lady who screams at those who pass by. Multiple hikers have reported seeing her, standing in the doorway of the shack, crying out to them.
I don't know, y'all. That road right there is one of those roads where it's like it does have history to it. Like, you know what I'm saying? As far as there were people who used to work on this railroad, they spirits might still be here. You never know. But the thing that really sticks out to me with that road is, why are the police freaking protecting this? You know what I'm saying? Why are they not allowing people to explore this area, this road? Why are they giving out $1,000 tickets if they catch you over here? It gotta mean they hiding something, right? That's the real thing that really stick out to me. I don't know, Bean Team. Y'all want to take a trip to that road to see what's going on over there? We may have to come out of the pocket $1,000 if we get caught, though. Nah, let's not go. Let's just go to the next story. We almost at the end, my friends. I think we got 2 more to go.
Having lived in Taiwan for a while, I already knew I wanted to include this entry before I even started researching this video. Located in what's colloquially known as the Taiwanese Grand Canyon, Taroko Gorge is one of Taiwan's 9 beautiful national parks. Taroko itself translates into magnificent or splendid. Certainly not words I'd use to describe the road that runs through it. Taroko Gorge Road is made up of a series of tunnels carved into the mountain. That's all well and good, but when earthquakes and typhoons are a common occurrence, it's not unusual for things like this to happen.
Oh!
To put it
Time out real quick. I just got to give a shout out that they at least have freaking yellow rails on the edge of the road. I got to give them a shout out for that. But goddamn, you're riding down the road and big ass, not even rocks, boulders start falling. It still ain't safe out here.
mildly, if you have the metal to get behind the wheel on this road, falling boulders and debris pose a significant risk to your health. On top of that, the road itself is pretty unpredictable, full of steep climbs, blind turns, and sharp curves. Lots of sections don't even have barriers, and on more than one occasion, vehicles have gone careening over the side of the steep Taroko Mountains. In 2012, 14 people were lucky to escape with their lives when a bus failed to climb an incline in the road. The bus hit one of the barriers of the road on the way down, but went sliding down the slopes of the mountain regardless, injuring everyone on board. Taiwan's a beautiful place for sure. Just maybe catch a train if you want to visit Taroko Gorge.
Yeah, just catch a train, Bean Team. That may be the safest route.
Morrow Road is perhaps one of the most chilling routes you can drive in all of North America. Near Detroit, just across Lake St. Clair, you'll find Clay Township, a small, rural community. Running through it is Morrow Road, a 2-lane strip of paved road lined on both sides by thick woodland. On the surface, it's pretty unassuming, just another dusty trail in the good old US of A. But appearances can be deceiving. It's actually home to a rather chilling urban legend. As the story goes, in 1893, a woman went out in the middle of the night during a snowstorm. Her reason? She was frantically looking for her young son, who had gotten out of the house somehow. The storm was severe that night, and while searching for her child, the woman sadly froze. Neither her nor her son were ever found. Rumor has it that the woman still hangs around Morrow Road though, only in a much more ethereal sense. If you live near the area, here's something you can try for yourself. Legend says that if you drive out to Morrow Road at midnight and park on the old bridge, you can perform a very simple ritual to summon the frozen lady. Simply honk your horn 3 times. Many people say that if you do, the woman will appear to see if you have her son. According to people who claim to have seen her, she'll be wearing a white gown stained red with claret. Her face will be distorted, and her eyes will be missing. If you try to flee, either on foot or in your vehicle, she'll chase after you. If she catches you, it's game over. In the words of one local resident, I was skeptical of this whole legend, so I got together with some friends and we drove out there one night in 1992. We shut off the car and sat there for a minute. My friend honked the horn a few times, and right away, we heard a baby crying. It was coming from underneath the bridge. We got out of the car, and I leaned over the guardrail. I could hear it crying, but I couldn't see anything. Somewhere, out of the darkness, we heard a woman shout, "Where's my baby?"
I don't know, Bean Team. I think that one is probably, and this goes for a couple of the stories that we just heard and seen just then. That some of them may not be true as far as the paranormal stuff, like her in that case on Morrow Road may not be true. The white lady may not be true. The group of railroad workers in the woods may not be true, even though that's some suspicious ish with the police not allowing people to go in that area and also finding you $1,000 if they catch you in that area. But all I'm saying is some of them may not be true, but at the same time, some of them may be real, Bean Team. Some of those paranormal cases will be real. You know what? I'm gonna go 50-50 on all of them. I can't remember exactly, but I think we heard like 4 paranormal cases, so I'm gonna say at least 2 out of the 4 maybe possibly are freaking real. You know what I'm saying? And then the other type of stories we was getting was the ones with these freaking roads that I just can't believe exist, with the freaking cliffs that you can fall off and fall just hundreds of feet down a freaking mountain, and there's no barriers, no walls, no rails, no nothing to help stop that. You know what I'm saying, man? Like I said, it got to the point where I was like, man, if I'm living over in one of those countries, I've been to try to build a damn barrier myself or something. I don't know, Bean Team. I feel like there is no excuse at the end of the day why those countries are not taking care of their people or care about their people enough to at least freaking build some freaking rails. It can't cost that damn much. And when I'm talking about their governments over there. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever you want to call it. Whoever running those countries. Like, come on, man. We got to do freaking better. And I digress. I'm gonna go and let y'all go now, Bean Team. This is another one of those videos where I can go on and on, but I'm gonna go and let y'all go like I said. I appreciate y'all coming on back for another Reaction Suggestion Friday. Shout out to Red Pill Freedom once again. And before I see y'all again, my friends, just please, 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 please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and do all that if you ain't did that yet. And remember this: love, peace, and happiness. Stay safe. Don't stop. Keep going. Yeah.
If you're feeling lonely today, come along and throw your cares away. We're really glad that you're our friend, and this is a friendship that